Basi nilitumia madam picha ya Nesh.
It's 4 o'clock in the evening. I haven't left my room, but the truth is, if I'm honest, I feel stuck here in the middle. Am I one of those crazy people? Should I stay here or should I let go? Pull the sheets over my head, hoping change is gonna find me. You don't have to remind me I'm doing nothing at all. I'm ruminating on a blank wall, but I feel stuck here in the middle. Am I one of those crazy people? Should I stay here or should I let go?
You promised us Bosch wouldn't.
Hi. So, I want to Akiziki. I want to change the cover for this because one, it had stayed outside, got dusty, and this doesn't work with what we have going on right now. And I want something bright. So I have two options. I couldn't decide which one I wanted. So there's this red. It's such a beautiful red, vibrant. It has a velvety texture. Ouch. So I have this one, and oh wow, that would be so pretty. That would be so cute. And the other one I bought two materials, two fabrics, yeah, two different types of fabric, and also because it does have, it's like Chesterfield style. I got this gorgeous iridescent buttons. They are so gorgeous. I love the way they reflect the light. So these are the ones I would want down. I think they would work very well with the red. You can you see there? So Akiziki, is it attention you're looking for or what? Okay. The other fabric I have is a really nice bright yellow. The reason I picked the yellow one was one, in case I don't like the way the red feels, and two, because we had yellow on this, and it's also a nice bright velvety yellow, and it does sort of match the yellow we have. This is a lot more concentrated, so also velvet feel, and would look really cute with this. Okay, let me stand here so that you see the colors nicely there, and that reflects light very nicely. So I have to choose between the two. Which one? They're so bright, both of them. I love the texture of this. With this, I feel like I'm so worried about cleanup, but then I am planning to get like a nini. I love the feel of both of them. Like, they have very different feels. This feels a lot smoother, a lot lighter, if that makes sense. This feels rougher than this one, that's for sure. But I really like both of them. Like, I look like I'm wearing a skirt. I can't decide. Okay, wait, let's decide by standing there, because whichever I choose, the seat is coming here. So standing here, I can't see what you're seeing because you're far. Let me move you closer. I'm going to use this one to help us decide. Oh, actually, let me place it there and then cover it with the fabric and then see which one I like best. And just like place the fabric on top, see how this looks, because this adds a different element, a different color element into the room, because we don't have any red. So it kind of just adds a different visual. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I like it, because also that place is not like super lit or anything. With the light on so that we also see how that looks. So that's how it would look with the red. Oh, it's such a bright color. I love it. Okay. I feel like it's looking brighter here than it is there. But it looks good against our pink, our inspired hope. It looks good. Alright, let's try the other one. I'll just place this on top of that one. No, let's just remove it in case it messes with what you actually see underneath. Ouch. Oh, this looks good as well. This looks so good as well. I bought this fabric a while ago. Actually, I bought this fabric when I was working on the bedroom. I just didn't get around to, finishing. With our yellow. Okay, I think this looks good as well. And I think I like the way this looks a lot better. One, because these elements are already there. So it's not a new added element, which I think is a good thing. And I don't know, it works very well with Inspired Hope. Let me. Oof. Like, this fabric is so gorgeous. Oh yes, look at that. Okay, so yeah, so even from here, it works very well with the green on the wall, the pink. It looks good. I think it looks okay. And also over here, then what we can do, just borrowing elements of one thing to the other side. If we place the yellow there, then here we can use something that has a bit of the pink for the lampshade. That's what I was trying to do with that container. I was like, oh, by the way, what if I got a container and turned that into a lampshade? We can have a pinkish lampshade here that works with the yellow, so it's like a borrowed element. Akizigi, I'll walk on you from that side. And then this one, look. I can't move without, like, this is what we're doing now. I can't move. So I think we'll go with that. And then this, because it's such a nice, beautiful, bright color, I'll find a place for it.
Sometimes it really feels like I lose control. Honestly, I can't even find my home. 'Cause when you see light, I tend to fade with city lights and you're in space, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get it right. I'm drowning underwater, and you're just making it harder. Need to let you go to find myself. 'Cause I keep on falling, and you're the one watching. Need to let you go to find
Hola, Muthoni here. So, started by making myself 4 pancakes. Trying to master the art of cooking for one. Especially when I'm not cooking for keeps. I have to go to Shags because my grandfather passed away, and I don't want to, because I don't know how long I'll be. Okay, I can't be gone for long because work and all that, but also I've been up and down a lot, so I've not really been eating much. I've not picked up my camera up until yesterday for a couple of days, but it's been a couple of days because I've really been working on the laptop, trying to design stuff, and on phone calling people, asking questions, and trying to make sure I don't get things wrong. For like, I've never written in Kikuyu. Actually, I've never written in Kikuyu. This was my first time because I was writing the, well, they gave me the eulogy and I was designing the, the funeral program and the eulogies and all that. So I've written in Kikuyu, and I'm like, I think actually after writing, I'm reading so much better how it's supposed to be read with the correct intonation. And I think it's because I had to read that stuff multiple times, and then I had to like call one of my uncles and be like, so do I need to put a dash in this or not? Because in Kyuk, when you're writing in Kikuyu, there's certain letters that have like, I was gonna say squibbles. There's a way to write, okay? The Kikuyu alphabet has certain rules. So I had to like call and ask certain things and confirm, especially because when they wrote it on paper and then sent it on WhatsApp, right? And they were like, there were some inconsistencies. I think when you're writing and it's like they don't do all the things because they're like, well, this is not the final draft, right? But then they're forgetting that they're sending this to someone who does not really write Kikuyu. I can read, but I have to read like 2-3 times for it to be like, I get it, okay? So yeah. Anyway, my grandfather passed away, and he was old. He was like 87 years old, and he's been sick this past year. It's been ups and downs and all that. I did go to see him in August. It was August? Yes, it was August. I passed by there when I was leaving Nyeri. I'd gone to Nyeri for a bit of work, and I decided to pass by my grandfather's to see them because I've known he's been unwell. And the last time I had seen him was April when we'd gone for Easter. And I remember when we went home for Easter, or rather to Shags, he could hardly hear. Like, you had to shout for him to hear you. It's like his hearing had really become really bad, and he was struggling to walk as well. And then now when I went in August, he was bedridden, and it was just like, being taken to hospital, coming back home, doing x-rays, all that jazz. For me, I don't know how, I don't know how people, I know different people react differently to death. And for me, I think sometimes it also comes down to who, how old, what happened, and that kind of stuff. And in like this situation, I'm like, you know what, this man has lived a full life. 87 years is not young, That's like quite some, yeah. His mom lived to over 100. Our great grandmother, I got to meet her, and I saw her. Well, I knew her for a while because she died. I don't remember when she died, but maybe 10 or so years ago, if I'm not wrong. But like I was saying, he's lived a full life. So for me, sometimes when I'm like, it's like when the queen died and people were like, oh, it's so shocking. I'm like, no, it's not shocking. They're old. Like, the one thing we are guaranteed is, the one thing we all know is that eventually we will all die, right? And it's a scary thing for most. It's something that no one really wants, but we all know it's coming, I guess. But the way I handle death is I try to be logical where it's possible. There's certain deaths that, like, when they happen, I'm like, oh dang, that's like really sad. Like when someone's like so young, or it happened in like a reckless manner, or something that sometimes you feel like could have been avoided, but then also you don't know, because like they say, if it's your time, it's your time, right? But so for me, I'm like, there's certain things. Even I remember when I after I went to see him, and I was talking to my friend, and I was like, yeah, I can see it. Like, I can see it coming. Not that I'm not being morbid or anything. It's just that, like, sometimes, wow, Ziggy, this is my food. Get out. Ooh. No. So, for me, I think the pain point is mostly like, because the relationship that I had, Ziggy, please. The relationship that I had with my grandfather, the relationship he had with my mother, and the relationship he had with my grandmother are very different, right? And for me, I feel like the pain points that I'm experiencing are not even mostly for myself, but mostly for the women in my life that I really love, and knowing that they're hurting. Because the most important women in my life are my aunts and my mom and my grandmother. And like, I've seen these women like do the most in terms of everything I've learned about life, about, unfortunately, survival, I've learned through these women, and watching them from like when I was younger to now. I still notice in them that fighting spirit, that resilience. As much as I'd have loved for them to also have a soft life, I've learned from them. And I know for them, it's more like, oh, our dad passed, my husband passed, and that's the pain point for me. Seeing them in pain makes me feel their pain. Does that make sense? Because I'm not saying that I don't appreciate him as my grandfather, but like, the relationship there was very different. When we were younger, we used to go to Shags for school holidays, when schools used to close for a full month, and like now, where apparently they only close for a week. I still don't, that it sounds insane. But like, we used to spend like a whole entire month, so maybe 3 months in a year in Shags. And then as we got older, going into high school, I'm not coming home for holidays to go to Shags. It's like, I just want to be home because I want access to all these things that I miss when I'm in school and all that. So it becomes less and less as you grow older. And that's what happened with us. And then it was more like, okay, let's plan and go. And then we just pop in maybe once a year. I think actually this year is when we resumed consistent visits to Shags. I think. Because last year, did we go? I know my sister is a lot better at this than I am. My mom is. But since my granddad became sick, my mom has been going to Shags a lot more. And also she's like halfway there. So it's a lot closer for her. Because home is close to Shags. Not close to, but it's like halfway there. For me, it's halfway there compared to where I live. I'm like on the other side, right? So I've noticed in the past year, the visits have been a bit more consistent. The one thing I know is that he knew that his people loved him, which for me I think is very important. I think we really don't, I don't know if it's like a cultural thing or how we're raised. We really struggle showing love. And I think especially for older generations, because I guess they were taught that showing love is weakness. I feel like with us and younger generations, it's so much easier. Like, it's so much easier for me to say I love you to like my friends. Oh wow, did you just bring in a nini? What the hell is this? It's like I'm sorry, but like, Ziggy? Oh no, now it's climbing the cable. What is this? What would? Why would you bring this inside, Ziggy? Holy shit. Ziggy, take it outside. Please. Thank you. Oh. There. Oh. I'm like, it looks like it could fly. Ha! Now, I'm feeling, today is Wednesday. The barrio is on Friday. I would rather, I was trying to think if I want to go to Shag's tomorrow or on Friday morning. But I would rather go Friday morning. Please, you and your attention seeking ways, nitakupiga. What are you doing? What are you looking for here? What have you left here that you've come to find? Bad manners. What was I saying? Oh, I was thinking, I think I might end up just going Friday morning because of all the work that I have to do tomorrow. I don't want to be roped into anyone else's plans because I have planned things with my relatives before and you end up waiting for people because they fell asleep. I don't, like me, I even, like anyone who's calling me is like, so what's the plan? It's also because they dandia my plans and then they end up making me late. So I'm just telling people, we just find our way there. See, like everyone knows, si kila mtu ajua kwa shosho ni wapi. As in, yeah, it's your grandmother's house. You know where it is. Find your way there. But I know my mom is going today. My sister is going tomorrow. Oh, this is another thing. I know there's going to be a lot of people there tomorrow. And it's going to be hectic. I'm imagining waking up on Friday morning, everyone is trying to take a bath and everyone is trying to get ready. When I was, oh Lord, I've ever only viewed two bodies. And one was my best friend's mom when I was 11. And the other one, I think it was within the same year, or was it, which one who went first? The other one was my cousin, and she died pretty young from leukemia. And the thing for me was how, after doing that, it's like the memories I had of them were all replaced by what I saw. So I can't tell you what my cousin's laughter used to sound like, or even her voice. Like, I try, but any time I think of her, that image is what pops up in my head. And I'm a very visual person. Even my thoughts and stuff, I see them. It's like they're like mental movies. I see them as images. My memories are seen as images. And what I realized is, like, every time I've done that, the memories I have of said person are clouded by that final whatever. And I know people like to say, oh, sijui foreclosure or whatever. I'm like, nah, I'm okay. Like, I know what they look like. I don't need to go confirm, like, oh yeah, it's them. But that's for me. That's me. I don't do it. And it works for me. So I usually I don't go to the mortuary because of that. I know when people go like, oh, he looked like he wasn't there or whatever. For me, I'm like, yeah, I can see that, but I just don't, okay? For me, this is who I am. I choose to remember people in the ways that I interacted with them, the memories I made with them, as opposed to that being overwritten by that supposed closure moment that, So for me, closure doesn't come from that, I guess. Maybe it comes from, I think, the lowering of the casket or something else. I'm not sure what. Because even for me, the other thing I've noticed is, like, it takes a while for it to sink in with me that, oh wow, I'll never see so-and-so again. It doesn't happen immediately, especially in the phase where people are like in mourning and planning burials and doing all that, because things are moving, people are busy. It is that moment when all that stops and then you remember something that you used to do with that person and you're like, dang, we're never going to do that again, So I think for me, that's the moment where it kicks in. you know? So that's when I'm like, oh wow, okay, I guess that's that for so and so. Anyway, I don't know. I feel sometimes whether I do these things to release things I'm feeling. It's a way I use for releasing purposes, and it helps a lot. So that's something.
I just feel stuck here in the middle. Am I one of those crazy people? Should I